Do you want to relax? Are you having trouble sleeping or focusing? CBD reduces anxiety, chronic pain, seizures, PTSD, depression. Try our CBD gummies or chocolates. You will be very satisfied. Visit cbdcollections.net. cbdcollections.net. cbdcollections.net.
Hey folks, Chris Daley here, and it's a great delight we come to another Jamaican chat session. And we have a delightful person to engage with tonight. She's Tania Hendricks, and Tania is just a cultural icon. It's becoming a great cultural icon in many cultural events. She takes her audience back to the simpler times of many Jamaican childhood. She has a new book, One Pot, True Stories from Jamaica and Canada, in which she currently resides. And she reflects on the Jamaican motto, out of many, one people. We're going to have a delightful time tonight with her, and to do the interview is my partner in crime, Janice. Janice, take it away.
Well, thanks, Chris. Tania, it's a pleasure to talk to you tonight. Tell us a little bit about your Jamaican roots.
Yes, well, I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, and my first home was off Cassia Park Road, where I had a lovely, lovely childhood memories. Loved, climbing my mango tree and my plum trees and just having a lovely time. Those were the days of jukebox, and I used to love to listen to the songs on the jukebox. But during my childhood, I was an avid reader and I loved to sing. And as a result, all these things that I loved as a child, to read, to sing, to perform, my family would always ask me to perform poetry or a song, something like that. So I was always artistic as a child, and just really enjoyed doing, just having fun. I always was thinking of music and writing and helping people to write their songs too. I even remember this lady, Mrs. Slim. She wrote her songs, and she would come over to me when I'm like 10, 11, 12 years old, asking me to help her to come up with words for her song. So I was always like that. Music was always a part of my life, always in festivals at school, so
and all the fun stuff. Sounds like a really nice childhood. So I'm guessing, why am I going to guess that you sat around the TV on Saturday mornings with Ring Ding.
Yes.
And
Saturday.
Yeah, it was Saturday, right? I think I remember every Saturday. Yes. So you and I have the same childhood, because I remember that Saturday's important in Jamaican culture because it's market day for the adults and ring ding for the children,
Yes.
So,
I was on ring ding as well, Jenny. Sorry to
really? No,
I was
did not
on
know
ring ding.
that.
Yes, I was, and I met Miss Lou, and I had a fascination for her. She was like everybody, auntie and mommy.
Yeah.
And so that was like a mainstay for me, for Miss Lou. Yeah, man, big time heritage stuff, Miss Lou. And of course, she has influenced me greatly.
I think she's influenced many of us in that era. I remember seeing Miss Lou one time. I still remember that play. I remember her. It was like one Saturday, 6 donkey years, and there was a play, and Randy Williams and all, and Miss
Randy,
Lou and all
yes.
the, yeah. So I do remember that. So we see how you've been influenced. But your last name, most Jamaicans, they have a British surname,
Well, let
but
me
your last
explain.
name is Hernandez. So
Yes,
would
but
your
that's
name
my
suggest Hispanic heritage? What's your family journey to Jamaica?
okay. Well, let me explain. I am married as Hernandez. So my
Oh,
maiden name is Tania Main, and of course, Jamaicans are a melting pot of culture. So for me, I'm mixed with Black, East Indian, Irish, Scottish, you name it, everything, right?
everything.
Jewish heritage. And then my husband, who is also a Jamaican, he's mixed with Venezuelan, Spanish, Chinese,
Oh,
Black, Arawak, Indian. So our
yes.
children have like 11 different nationalities. You must see
And
them.
then mixed up in the stew of like your book.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the Venice one. So that's where the Hernandez comes from.
that's right.
What was your childhood like that you developed such a deep, rich treasure chest of our culture? And you mentioned ring ding and being
Yes.
influenced by your neighbor. Were there other influences?
Well, Miss Lou was a major one, but I don't know if you remember when festival time come, right? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody used to, the Junkonos used to come out and you used to have all the festival celebration and festival songs. I was into my culture big time. So you have all these people, Eric Donaldson, the astronauts, Toots and the Maytals, all
Mm-hmm.
those people, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the nice, all the festival song them. Having
Yeah.
a party, I hope you are
Yeah,
hearty.
I
Sweet Jamaica, you are on the move. Remember that?
remember. Yeah, I
Come
remember.
on. So all
When
them
did
songs.
so when did you start sharing these treasures with others?
Well, I used to perform a lot. My family would always ask me as a little kid, just to do poetry and songs. But when I fully got into it, you wouldn't believe it. We moved to Canada
Mm-hmm.
in the late 1990s. And
Mm-hmm.
it was when I have four children, and it was when my second child was in kindergarten, I decided to do a Jamaica Day at her elementary
Oh,
school. So
nice.
I started doing the cultural stuff, cooking Johnny cakes for them, teaching them about Jamaica, having
Oh,
them learn
great.
about the parishes, do Anansi stories. I
Yes.
usually would sing for weddings and funerals
Mm-hmm.
and events. Singing was always a part of my life, singing at every event you can think of. But the actual cultural portion, because my name is Tania Hernandez, but my stage moniker is Miss Tanya Lou because
Okay.
everybody who
A
send
play
me
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
they will say that I remind them of Miss Lou. And of course,
Yeah.
as an avid student of Miss Lou, I do a lot of her poetry, her
I.
stories, riddles, right? So yeah, I've been doing it from 1999, 2000. Then some people at the Jamaican Canadian Association of British Columbia, they just watched me talking one day and said, Tanya, we would love to put you on stage. So I did my first stage show, Canada Nice Butty Cowl. And from then
Yeah.
on, I
You just
even
took
got an
off.
award for it.
Nice. That's wonderful. So during the lockdown, how did you use this talent to uplift your spirit?
Well, let me tell you, girl, you see my vision is to aspire through every talent I have. So during COVID, everybody looking for something inspirational because it's a whole heap of bad news and people get shut in and can't go out. So I decide to use my love of poetry and storytelling and singing. I go on Facebook And I do a whole lot of that. Put on my Miss Lou bandana, have my nice Jamaican national where I have every different style you can think of, Miss Janice. And I go on Facebook and I perform and get a lot of hits. I have a lovely following when I come on and I write tributes to Miss Lou, I do her poetry, I sing folk songs, I do riddles and games, story time. And
wow.
if you go on Facebook and even YouTube, you will see that I have been doing this I have been on YouTube and Facebook a whole lot. Because of course, you weren't allowed. I only went to a few events since 2019. But most times it's on Facebook, or people would ask me to do Zooms all over the United States, all over Ottawa, and say, Tania, could you perform for us for many events, like they're trying to do fundraisers, right? For children in crisis or for school resources. And I am always performing. Yesterday I was at the festival. Well, that one you went to, but you have to follow all the regulations, but I was at my festival last week, the largest festival. July 1st was our large festival. They had me.
Carabana? Was it?
No, that one in Hamilton. It's called It's Your Festival. It's the largest festival in Hamilton, and one of the largest festivals in Toronto, in all of the Toronto region. They asked me to come and sing the Canadian anthem for Canada Day and to do Jamaica folklore stuff. So of course, I was very happy to do that.
Nice.
And honored. And they had the Jamaica flag going.
Wow. I know that lifted your spirits, Yesterday I was at a Caribbean festival. So we're starting to come back out, but a lot of people are still skeptical. But you have your new book entitled One Pot.
Yes.
True Stories from Jamaican Canada, Recipes and Poem. And I must say I really enjoyed it. It was a good read, and everything resonated, and so I'm sure our audience will appreciate how you construct things from a diaspora perspective. What motivated and inspired this creation?
Well, the first thing that motivated me was to leave a legacy for my children, to leave something of me for my children, to my friends. And then at first I was going to start with a cookbook because I love cooking, right? Jamaican fusion recipes, Jamaican recipes. I just love to cook. But then I said, Tania, why you just don't incorporate everything that you love? Because you want your children's children. You want people, the diaspora, who don't know much about Jamaica. You want to pass on just the same way Miss Lou started our culture. She wrote so many books and she performed to promote our culture. I said, Tania, you pass the baton too, just like Miss Lou. And so with my love of storytelling, love of writing poetry, and also my recipes, I thought of a stew. And so to pass on my legacy, I said, what a better way than to have a book with all of that in it? Not a big book, but enough that somebody can put it in their purse and go to the beach or somewhere quiet and have a nice hearty serving of true stories that will make your belly bust with laugh. And at the same time, reminisce on old time Jamaica and feel good about where we come from. Because if you don't know where you come from, you can't really know where you're going. I really feel you need to know your roots in order for you to grow strong. And so that's why the legacy, passing on the legacy, and also, of course, Miss Lou motivated me a lot. because
Nice.
I saw what she did and I said, Tanya, you can do your part too, right? And it really doesn't matter. For me, I want you to know my passion is so great in passing on my Jamaican culture that it supersedes whether or not, me turn bigger celebrity or anything like that. I don't think that way. What I
Mm-hmm.
think about is being able to make someone smile. Being
Nice.
able, yeah, because community building is a big issue for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love to have community. I love to have my friends around. I like to have a good laugh. I like to learn. And so I incorporated all of that. It's fun, it's educational, it's enlightening, and edifying. And that's the legacy that I want to pass on.
Yeah, I see. And then the fact that it's called, um, Stu, where did you get the title for the book? Was
One
it due
pot?
to the Jamaican pato? The Jamaican motto is "out of many, one people." So
Yes. Yeah.
that's
I
good. Yeah,
You think that's where I got it from, right? Well, that's part
yeah,
of it. So you get a ticket for that one. That's
yeah.
part of it. Yeah,
Oh
man.
man,
But
that's
yeah,
good.
but I thought of come love cook, and you think
Uh-huh.
about the potato and the yam and the dumpling and the meat and the vegetable. Me say, so I saw the vision of a book with a serving of different kind of artistic expressions. And you know what I realized too? I've been reading a lot of Miss Lou book. It's not until I wrote my one part book with the stories, the poem and recipe, I went back into one of her books I read a while back, Laugh with Louise. And
Mm-hmm.
she actually had some recipes from the Caribbean in there. Plus, she had also her music. So I said, wow, she did something similar like that. So, I realized that without even
You,
knowing
you,
it,
you
she
did
inspired me too.
you did a 2.0. I didn't realize. I'm gonna have to. I have that book. I'm gonna go through it again
Yes,
and
Laugh
see.
with Louise, and she has Jamaica Labrish, and she have Auntie Roach. So she have Wooly about the
Yeah,
lady larger than life, mother of Jamaican culture. And of course,
of
in one
course.
part, I
Yes.
did write and dedicated, did a tribute poem to her as well in my book.
Right. Yeah. I noticed that you had your intro. That was her son, right?
That was, yes, Fabian Coverley. Yeah, he gave me a
Uh-huh.
good write up. He endorses everything I do. And I make sure always mention Miss Lou's name, and part proceeds of my book will go to charity, but also to go towards the Louise Benny Coverley Foundation to
Nice.
help to keep the memories and legacy of our honorable Dr. Louise Benny Coverley alive. Because
Ab-
without her, I don't think our culture would be so big on the map. I know we have Bob Marley and we have our runners. See, we get 1, 2, 3 now the Olympics over and
I
over
see.
again. But culture, Miss Lou was the one who went into the countryside and saw how people lived, and she documented it, right? She
Right.
documented it, and she was a great ambassador for us to know about our ancestors and to feel proud and to know where we're coming from
Yeah.
pre-independence to independence to post-independence day. Next year is 60 years.
Wow. And it's interesting. You would say that she went into the community to find out, because Zora Neale Hurston did the same thing from an American Black perspective. I don't, you're a teacher. I don't know if you're familiar with her works. Zora Neale Hurston is she's an American Black, and then she would write in the
Yes,
dialect of the community, and that's
yes,
how she did
I
it.
heard.
She went into that specific community, and she was able to basically learn what they were doing. So Zora Neale Hurston for the American Blacks and Louise Bennett for the Jamaicans. And
Yes,
it's
and
really
there's
important.
mhm.
And it's really important to have those people documenting the cultures, because we live in an era, you and I are both diasporans, and so our children may not be able to recount these things. But the fact that you've written them, you've documented them, you promoted them, this is how the culture keeps alive and well. So can you share one of your favorite or whet our audience appetite?
Well, wow. So I would love to. So what I did, because I have 3 parts, I am just going to read a short story, and then I am going to share with you a poem and just tell you what my favorite recipe is, right? One of, because it's so many. But let me just read a little short story.
A little tears. We'll give them a little tears because we want them to buy the book.
I know.
So a little sample. You know how when you go to the grocery store, they give you a little tears so that
they say,
oh, this is nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I am going to read a little short story from Canada Nice But It Called Culture Shock Hilarity. So this is on dog lovers. Is one thing you must know about Jamaicans. We're not too much into dogs. We are more afraid of them, especially those Bringle mongrel dogs back home. I was taken aback by the Canadians' love for their pets. I watched them reverently scoop the doggy doo and talk to their doggies like they're humans. Me still cannot get used to the dogs licking their faces. LOL. The pets dress up in nice clothes, my dear. I could swear I see a dog in booties. Yes. One day, me wondering why this person was longing out them tongue at me in the car beside me and staring at me too. When me look closer, no one dog. It looked like human beings sitting in the passenger seat like manna yard. So that was just one of my stories. And of course, I have to read. I want you viewers to get the book to read about my little escapade with a crocodile. Mama crap. I'm not going to tell them the story. I'm going to make them go look for it. But this experience as a diasporan in Canada, wanted to share our way and the Canadian way with a little bit of laugh, with the wit and humor of how we would tell stories. So that's one. And I wanted to share a quick poem of if Miss Lou was Prime Minister. If Miss Lou was Prime Minister, Auntie Roche would be VP. She would get rid of politics, teach everyone to practice up them courtesy. Howdy and thank you no broke no square and keep your mouth if you don't have nothing to say. You hear? If Miss Lou was Prime Minister, she would be good with finance. No one would need to fret. Because we would all learn one cocoa, full basket. By hard work, we toil under the sun. As Miss Lou said, if you want good, you know how to run. And when all money now run and prospects look, the Miss Lou would remind us when trouble take man, pick me boot fit him. Yes, when times are hard, we have to make adjustments to survive. And a one like say at the end of your life, just to think of Miss Lou as Prime Minister and Auntie Roche as VP. Make me full of joy, Sotil. Take care, what good Miss Lou. Your legacy continues to live on. We salute you. Ay, ay, ay. So,
ay, ay, ay. Yeah. In the poetry world, at least in the U.S., whenever someone does a poetry, they don't clap, they snap. So I'm going to give you like a snap.
Oh,
you hear that?
Thank you, yeah, man, thanks. Okay. Yes. So I hope you really like that. And it gives our proverbs, which is the wisdom of our people, right? And then a little joke here and there, but
yes.
And then for the rest, yes?
Yeah, go on.
I was just about to say that for the recipes, I have many, but I try to fuse Jamaican Canada. I do a Jamaican Canadian fusion recipe. And one of my favorites is curry chicken chickpeas. Because Canada is a large exporter of chickpeas. And of course, Jamaica love them curry chicken. So I fuse the curry chicken with the chickpeas, and it tastes nice to see you lick your finger like wow when you taste my curry chicken chickpeas.
Wow. Yeah, I've never tried that before, but I have your book, so I'll definitely
Yes.
try that recipe, in my next taste for curry chicken anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So how can folks get a copy of this liquor after you give us the liquor taste? We want to buy it now. So how can folks get a copy of this treasure?
Well, my dear, thanks for asking. So you can go on my website, Tania L. Hernandez at, well, TaniaLHernandez.com. And it's TaniaLHernandez, TaniaLHernandez.com. Or you could go on to my publisher's website, www.essencebookstore.com. You will also see on all the other book sites as well. I would say to like Amazon, but I would say people, I don't know, on Amazon, it tends to be expensive. It's best if you go to my website or you go to Essence Bookstore, www.essencebookstore.com. And if you write me, if you go on my website, I would be glad if you want me to autograph. I would autograph you. And you can also email me at Tania Hernandez 695 at yahoo.ca. And you will be able to you get in touch. But on my website, there's actually a link to pay for it. And then I'll see your address. And you could leave me a note saying, you would like it autographed and everything. So, yeah. So that's how it is. And anybody who want to WhatsApp me, 289-442-1857, and say, what I want, Tanya, I want you to send me a book. Do it.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
So are there any final words of wisdom for our audience?
Yes, I would say that it doesn't matter what talents we have. That's good and all, but people remember how you make them feel. Yes. So I would say in everything you do, in everything you have, even the way you look, you dress, aspire to inspire. Have a smile on your face. You never know how you might affect someone. Somebody might be having a hard day. Just be nice, have words of encouragement and empowerment. And if you do have nothing good to say, just don't say nothing. Just smile, but always find encouraging words. In this day we're living right now and the uncertainties and everything with COVID and everything, people need encouraging words and we do not get enough of it. So that's what I would say. Keep on just being nice. Pour out from your heart sweetness and love and joy. Blessings to everyone.
That's true. So to learn more about Jamaican Diaspora, visit JamaicanDiaspora.com. To learn more about Chris Daley, visit Digital2Grow, that's the number 2grow.com. And Tania Hernandez, give us that website one more time.
Pardon, was that Janice?
I said, give us that website one more time.
Yes, the website is TaniaLHernandez.com.
Thank you
My
so
middle
much.
name is Lisbeth, so that's why the L is there. TaniaLHernandez.com.
And thank you so much for spending time with us. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye, it's a pleasure.